This is the plaintiff, Jasmine Thomas. She says she was hired to direct a music video by the defendant, who claims he's a professional videographer and the guy overstepped his responsibilities. She's not happy with the final product and is suing for the return of the $300 she paid him. This is the defendant, Keith Anderson. He says the plaintiff was disorganized. She didn't like the way the music video came out, and she's trying to blame all the problems on him. He's sorry, but he's a professional. He did exactly what the plaintiff wanted him to do, and he owes her zip. He's accused of not getting the picture.
All parties, please raise your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Millian now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. Thomas, let's start with you. What kind of business are you in?
I'm in the music industry. I'm a video director as well as an artist developer.
Okay, all right. And you were hired by a particular artist to create a music video?
Yes.
All right, and tell me what that music video was supposed to entail and how the defendant comes into play there.
It was going to be about an artist that was kind of dreaming of making it big, and he wanted to portray his journey on the things that he went through to get there.
Okay, so you said you'd worked with Mr. Anderson before. How many times had you worked with him?
Too many to count. Like,
well,
literally
you gotta.
Over 50 videos. Over 50 videos.
Oh, that many?
75.
Okay.
Like,
so you hired Mr. Anderson, and you end up in an agreement, and this is the agreement that you both sign in January of 2021.
Yes.
All right. The agreed upon price is $300, so you pay him the $300, and what goes wrong?
Yes. Just afterwards, he began to basically take me out of the situation where he wanted to film with the artist again. To fix the video, which is completely fine, but it's like, how am I the director if I'm not even a part of the process?
So what did he do?
He started to communicate with the artist, and basically, like, I didn't get any more communication. He stopped communicating with me. He met up with the artist, gave him the footage, because the artist and I agreed that the video wasn't up to par. The music was off. It was a little bit off key, not off key, but like, you know how you see the video, but the words are not lined up with the mouth?
Right.
A lot of the edits the transitions were bad.
So Mr. Anderson gives you the product, and according to the contract, you can, redo and revise and edit together up to 3 times. So he gives you the product, you view it with the artist, and y'all don't like it, right? You got complaints.
Correct.
I mean, you don't hate it, you just have complaints and stuff that needs to be fixed. So you reach out to Mr. Anderson, correct?
Correct.
What do you say to him?
So when he sends the video, that's when we see the video. We say we don't like it. He agreed that he would go ahead and fix the edits. He did not do that.
Okay.
And now
what he says,
we're a month later, and we still don't have an edit.
There was, at one point, there was a discussion where he said, well, give me the timestamps of what you want to change, right?
Correct. We talked on the phone about timestamps because the video is horrible all throughout. There's not really a time that I can tell you the music is off. You see what I'm saying? There's no really time that I need to give you. I'm just telling you in general, the music is off. The transitions are not good. You see, there's nothing to really timestamp. We need to revise all together. We need to come back to the drawing board and do our meetup like we discussed so that we can really get into this, you see? And he didn't want to do that.
Let me hear from you, Mr. Anderson.
So we agreed to shoot the video. We shot it all at one location because all throughout the video, it was like we just couldn't find like certain locations or whatever, and she needed particular locations. But so we had to improvise a lot for the video. And so that's what we did. We improvised. We got everything that we could get done to at least try to make it make sense. 2 weeks later, I sent her the video. But before that, she told me 'Cause I have the message
She
right here.
she sent you a text saying, hey, we're coming up at the end of the 2 weeks. You know, we need the video.
Right.
And then you send her a video. And she feels, and the artist felt, because I saw both their texts, that maybe you rushed a little because there were things that were wrong with it that has nothing to do with Ms. Thomas's creative vision. In other words, I hear what you're saying. You felt it didn't make sense. According to you, you claim the artist felt the story didn't make sense. But, you know, the bottom line is it's not your job to decide, you know, if she's going to fail at giving the artist a product, that's between her and the artist. She's hired you to take the video. So you're not the creative director. She's a creative director. And there were a lot of the complaints had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the lips should move when the sound comes out. And that's all on you. So what happened here? How did the things break down so badly between you and somebody who, according to her, has given you business 75 times in the past?
To me, it didn't seem like the business broke down, whatever. I feel like we stopped talking, and she never said. Right,
and I have this. I do have this text up where she says, "I like it a lot, but a couple of times the beat didn't feel properly aligned, and sometimes slow-mo was." And then you say, "Okay, send me the timestamps, and I'll correct it." And then she sends you what the artist said, and then you say, "All right." And she says, "Could I get the complete files also?" To which you respond, "The story was never really there because so much had to get compromised and was last minute. I can't do nothing about that. I will adjust everything else so." Why are you even saying that? That's kind of hostile, and she couldn't have been more polite. And then what happens? You start ghosting her. "I need the footage." Then a day later, "I need the footage today." And then 2 days after that, "Is there a problem? Why are you ignoring me? I'm not even pressing you for edits. I just want the footage." And then your next text to her is, "He has the footage." When did you decide to start dealing directly with the artist?
I've been talking to the artist. I just asked him once she didn't send the timestamps. I just sent her a message and asked him particularly like what were the parts.
And what did the artist do?
He texted me back. He actually called me, and we was in full agreement with everything. He said really all he really wanted to do to complete the video was add an extra scene to it. So to make it all make sense.
So he didn't want to fix that the mouth moves at a different time than the music? He wanted that fixed.
No, we discussed
right?
we discussed all of that. Yes. So it was super slow at certain points of time, which I guess that could make it seem like the mouth was off.
Do you guys have a copy of the video?
Yes. When she told me, she said, well, he said he doesn't like.
No,
I'm sorry.
This isn't the one he sent me.
I feel like he's saying my name. Millian.
That's why I called you.
It'll be our new theme song around here. It's catchy. Okay. Can I just ask you, Mr. Anderson, why Ms. Thomas seems to be pretty upset that she contracted you and that you went directly to the artist? And I can get that. You're undermining her. You're affecting her relationship with the artist. You're making the artist work when the artist pays her so that she and you work. So why did you go directly to the artist and sidestep her?
Because she never got back with the timestamps. So I just asked him that question.
So why didn't you just ask her for the timestamps again, or call her, or meet with her like she was trying to do? I see where you ignored, just a second, I see where you ignored her over and over for several days, okay? So it's hard for me to think that the reason you sidestepped her is because you kept haranguing her and she wouldn't give you timestamps. You asked once for the timestamps, and then she decides, I guess, that she's not even going to sweat you for the edits. She just wants the raw footage. She'll figure it out, which is even easier for you. And your response to her is nothing on day one, nothing on day two, nothing on day three, and then it's, "Oh, I already gave all the raw footage to the artist." So I'm wondering why the hostility against her so much. I'm trying to figure it out because it doesn't make any sense. If she's someone who gives you business, why are you marginalizing her as a director the way you did?
I don't know if you have the messages. I actually sent her a detailed message. She just never texts me back. There it is, yeah.
Okay, so you ask her for the timestamps, and then she asks you, "I need the footage tonight at least." And then on Saturday, she says, "Is there a problem? Why are you ignoring me? I'm not even pressing you for the edits, literally just need the footage." And then you say, "I've been filming all day, he has the footage." And she's surprised. because she didn't expect you to deal directly with him because your contract's not with him. But I need it. I'm the director. You're literally breaching our contract. I paid you. You then say to her, the contract has nothing about giving you files, so I'm not breaching anything, Jazz. Me and him are at a complete understanding of what needs to be corrected or changed. Why are you dealing directly with the artist? You're trying to get hired directly by the artist by dealing with the artist. You're probably bad-mouthing her and her work and her vision at the same time. And that is a breach of the contract that she hired you for. She answers, but my name is on the line and the contract is between you and I, not you and him. I am owed, period. Why isn't she right? Here's what you answer. The video was presented. A revision of the edits was asked for. I told you to send me the timestamps so I could better fulfill your needs. You didn't. The files have been given to the talent, and he is sending all the timestamps to the parts he wants. But see, what you either you know or you don't know is that he paid her to do this. So when you go directly to him, you're creating more work for him. And in fact, Ms. Thomas, the artist wasn't pleased, was he? What did he say to you about the amount of work he had to put into this?
The artist is so upset we don't communicate anymore.
There you go. So you ruined the relationship between her and an artist that hired her. Tell me, Mr. Anderson, how this is not a breach of your contract with Ms. Thomas.
Because I didn't come to him to have it be like that. I just came to him asking for the timestamp.
But that's what happened. You ended up cutting out the person who hired you. And I don't even know why you would do that. I don't know if it's, because you're too familiar with Miss Thomas, because she's a woman, because you weren't thinking. I don't care what your reason is. The end result is the same. You ended up affecting the relationship she had with the client. You undermined her completely. And then you're sitting there talking about, hey, what you wrote didn't make sense anyway. And then you end up dealing directly with her client who now doesn't hire her. How do you figure that that's not a breach of your contract with her? It is. And loves him. So I bet he's hiring him now. So yeah, that's great. Yep. You do so at your own peril. I hope it was worth it because you're going to return her $300. Verdict for the plaintiff, $300, plus of course your court costs.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff prevails. She will get her money back from Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, let me ask you something. You heard what the judge just said to you. Do you understand her decision and why she made it that way?
Yes, I understand.
Do you feel bad? You should. I mean, you really did do something totally wrong here.
No, I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. I guess it was just went about the wrong way. So.
Well, you learned a lesson the hard way, I think. All right, Ms. Thomas, I think everybody feels for you. You really did kind of get cut out here. Obviously, you're not going to work with him anymore, are you?
It's messed up to say that I love Keith. Like, I really want to work with him still. And I just hate that this happened because now I lost the relationship with him and I lost the relationship with the artist. And I just want to say there was so much more that I wanted to address in the case, but it is what it is. I won. So at least we get to see that I'll fight for my artist.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you very much, Ms. Thomas. All right, Harvey, what do you think?
Doug, we've talked about this before. When you text somebody in the middle of a job and you want them to respond, you can't expect them to respond like that. But at a point, if they don't respond and you lose confidence, you do have a right to protect yourself, to mitigate your damages, and it may even be to hire somebody else. So if you are on that other side and you get a text from somebody in the middle of the job, you got to respond in a reasonable amount of time.
How do I sue someone if I don't know their address?
Yeah, well, you can't. You got to know their address. I mean, there are statutes in most states where if you've tried everything and they're ducking you and you can prove they're ducking you.
Avoiding service of process.
Avoiding service, you might be able to just publish it in a paper. But the bottom line is that you really, in almost every case, you have to find them in order to sue them. And so nowadays it's a lot easier with the internet and skip tracing services. And
what's a skip tracer do?
A skip tracer kind of goes through every internet presence and finds out the addresses that you've ended up giving in the past and kind of tries to help you find
that's the first step they do. Otherwise, they go through your garbage. They'll do anything to try.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. For small claims, it's usually not going to be worth hiring an investigator unless you're really angry.
But I mean, a skip tracer will do the job for a couple $100 usually, right?
Actually, and you can even go. There's lots of services right online that for $30, or
or
something,
even less.
the thing is, are you getting accurate information?